All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our EASO Peers Program Information Session. We are doing another presentation on this today because 2023-24 was our pilot year for the Peers Program, and it went so well, and we are very excited to expand it a little bit and head into year 2. So today, Bethany and I will just be giving you the rundown on what the program is and all the details about it that you need to learn more about this wonderful program that we now have as a part of our company. So in the presentation today, we'll be outlining these few points. So we'll be reviewing the Peers program basics, so just what it is, some specifics, why Peers is an important step for certain individuals, who is eligible. There is a certain eligibility criteria, so we'll run through that. We'll talk about our class structure and how that looks, and the program outcomes and success. We'll specifically speak to some success that we've seen and as well as research.
So what exactly is PEERS? PEERS stands for the Education and Enrichment of Relational Skills. The program was created to help those with social disorders make and maintain meaningful relationships and friendships. What sets PEERS apart is that it only teaches ecologically valid social skills. Now, what exactly does that mean? It's a little bit wordy. Ecologically valid social skills means that the skills and behavior that are socially acceptable and approved for the situation, and these are proven through research. We greet someone of authority or respect differently than we do a group of friends, right? We don't approach them the same way. This looks different depending on the social situation. And PEERS really goes through how to speak to their peers, specifically in a proven socially acceptable way, so that they're not approaching potential friendships in a way that might come across as a little bit awkward or strange. So it's really teaching them the right way to start a conversation with people that they are interested in speaking to and getting to know. It's important to note that Peers is not a friendship making group. Even though it's all about making friends, the goal is not that they're making friends with one another. They do engage with each other a lot during class time, but the end goal is that they take the skills from peers and they apply it to social settings in their outside world setting. So for the basics, we are switching things up a little bit in the 2024-2025 year. This coming September, we're excited to be running both the young adult and adolescent groups on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The sessions are going to be running from 4 to 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. All participants and peers are required to have a social coach that helped them through the program. Social coaches will meet separately, but at the same time as the peer session. This is a little bit different from how we have it currently. So the social coaches will be meeting from 4:30 to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to discuss progress and troubleshoot anything that may be arising. For the two different modules, young adult has a minimum age of 18 plus, as it does cover topics around dating, and the adolescent group is typically 13 plus. This can be flexible based on maturity and group composition. Sessions are between 14 and 16 weeks long, and Peers is geared towards individuals with social disorders. A critical factor is that each participant is personally motivated to make friends. This is really, really important as it greatly impacts not only what they get out of the program, but also the tone of our group and the attitude that they bring to our practice together. Groups are formed based on suitability. Our goal is for each participant to get as much out of this program as possible. So we do our best to form groups with like-minded individuals and maturity levels. This means that if you reach out to us, we are going to have the participants' best interests in mind and very carefully select who's going to be in what group to make sure that it's functioning optimally.
Okay, so why is Peers important? Peers seeks to improve the social emotional lives of its participants. So individuals with meaningful friendships are better able to weather storms of life whereas a lack of friendships breeds feelings of isolation, low self-esteem, and depression. So especially the dynamic that's suited towards this group, individuals with social disorders really struggle with maintaining meaningful friendships. So the peers program really puts that together for them and gives them tools and practice and just confidence to go out in the world and make those meaningful friendships, knowing that they're going to be received better. So the program demystifies socializing with step-by-step processes, covering everything from conversation basics, just like how to start a conversation, how to approach someone, what makes a good friend. We ensure that our participants are looking for the right kinds of friends and they know who their people are. We help them navigate that. Appropriate humor. So a lot of times we, don't land our jokes and, give off the wrong vibes when we try to tell a joke if we struggle socially. So we navigate that better. Handling disagreements and bullying is a topic we cover. We review, as Bethany said, we have a dating module for those 18 plus and a lot more. So we really cover all of the steps that would be needed with socializing and just give a really, step-by-step toolkit so that our participants leave our program feeling confident to engage socially with success. All right, so who is right for peers? As we mentioned, there is eligibility criteria. So peers is geared towards those with social disorders. An example of a social disorder would be those on the autism spectrum. So individuals who really struggle navigating social situations. Peers itself is not a friendship making group, but more of a group where we can deliver tools and tips and practice the skills in our group so that our participants can leave and navigate socially on themselves. So a typical peers candidate would be someone who struggles to read social cues, has low social engagement, may act inappropriately in social situations, likely has few reciprocal friends. Just really anyone that struggles. So when we say social disorders, there is a wide spectrum. So we will have meetings with anyone who is interested in joining peers. Bethany and I have a step-by-step meeting process. So if you are interested, you reach out and we will meet with you and discuss whether you would be a great fit for our program. So participants also need to be motivated to make friends. So you'll get out of the program what you put in. So it's really important that it's not just a parent pushing their child into this program. It is important that, the child or any student that's in this program really is self-motivated and wants to do this and is motivated to make meaningful friendships and learn how to do that. So you need to have an ability to navigate our online platforms independently. We do run this online on Microsoft Teams. So being able to know how to navigate that and show up and digitally connect with our classmates is important. Need to be able to engage. Our classes is 90 minutes. So they need to be able to engage independently without success. So our students join on their own and navigate the platform on their own. It's not as comfortable if they have someone beside them assisting them. It makes it flow much better when they are able to do this on their own and need to have a willingness to join extracurricular activities or social groups as a means of making new friends. So a part of our program, we have class time that is 90 minutes and we will teach the tools and the skills in that class time, but we also assign homework outside of each class. And that homework involves going out into social situations in real life and navigating the skills that we have taught in the class. So we do ask our participants to try to be involved in an extracurricular activity or a social group that you can engage in regularly to start to connect with peers and work on building those meaningful friendships.
So Jenna just kind of touched on this a little bit, but we want to dive into what the class format actually looks like. It always follows sort of the same routine. We begin with introducing the week's topic as well as its do's and don'ts. Each topic is then presented with rules that are broken down into easy to follow steps, which are then practiced as a group in class. So we do that role play within class time altogether so that we see it in action. Then, as Jenna said, each participant is required to complete homework incorporating those latest skills in a real life application. And it's important to understand that this is part of the weekly routine and that you are going to be expected to complete homework every single week. It's not paper and pencil type homework, but it is very important and typically includes, role playing with a social coach, scheduling calls with classmates. It's going to change as time goes on, depending on the skill we're working on, but every single week there will be a series of homework assignments, and it's really integral to the program progress. The great thing about this format is that it takes these abstract concepts behind the social graces that we really take for granted most of the time, and it transforms them into concrete steps, making it really, really accessible and often providing immediate results because it's as simple as following, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a really great format. So let's dive into the role of the social coach. We've mentioned this a few times that each participant needs a social coach. So who can be a social coach and what exactly does that look like? A social coach can be anyone that the participant feels comfortable with and also that is available to support on a weekly basis. This can be a family member, a mentor, a friend, anybody, as long as they're comfortable and the timeline works for them, that they're available to do it. Social coaches are provided with materials from us, the instructors, so that they know the skills that are being worked on that week and exactly how to support the participant through their homework and different role play assignments. Social coaches also have their own 30-minute session, like we said before, that this year, upcoming year, is going to be running at the same time as peers. And during this little session, we have a Q&A period where, you can tell us how the week is going. If anything's coming up that's maybe difficult or you're, experiencing some problems, we can troubleshoot them together. But it's a great opportunity to connect and hear the social coach's perspective on how things are going versus the participant. It's interesting, it's not necessarily mandatory that social coaches come to the sessions, but we encourage everybody to do so. And we have such great conversation during the sessions because often when we're asking a participant how their homework went and talking about the different assignments, they might say, oh, I didn't do it, nothing happened, etc. And then we get in the session with the social coaches and they tell us this wonderful report of the different things they did. So it's really helpful for us as the instructors too, to have that opportunity to touch base with the social coach because sometimes the feedback isn't always the same. And so it's been really useful.
All right, now we're going to talk about our program outcomes and what it looks like taking peers outside of the program. So we finished our first pilot year of this program and we were actually blown away by the outcomes. It is a very research-backed program and it is known that it works very well, but seeing it in action and seeing the outcomes in such a short time from our participants was wonderful. So Peers equips participants with a toolkit, very simple step-by-step social rules that our participants can navigate. It is up to the participant to put it to use, but now they have that toolkit when they want to enter any social situation. A big part of the program is getting the participant out into a new setting where they can meet new friends. So as we said in our previous slides, each session has a homework component where we do encourage participants and require them to go practice these skills socially. So by the time the program is done, our participants have, practiced these skills over and over and put them into action and are confident using them. We support participants in identifying their interests and corresponding social groups and activities. So while we're choosing those social groups that our participants are going to be a part of as they practice, we also help them, identify and navigate who the appropriate people are that they should search for as friends. So this is based on common interests. So we really work with each participant on identifying their interests and then how to go out and navigate finding peers with those common interests. And those are the people that we guide them towards. So joining social groups or activities that involve things that they are interested in are going to guide them towards other peers that are also interested in the same things, which will lead to more successful friendships. Social progress and friendship development is dependent on willingness to take this step. So this is a very important step, but those who do it through and through come out with, wonderful gains and progress and are very comfortable moving forward in social situations. All right, so just touching on this a bit more. So past peer participants have exhibited and experienced the following success. So there's lowered social anxiety around starting conversations because, as we said, they now have this toolkit. They know exactly what to do and what to expect, and how they're going to be received if they enter conversations in a certain way. Whereas before they, were navigating social situations a little bit blindly, not knowing the rules. Now we have them. And it's the same things you can repeat over and over again. Engagement in social groups outside of their comfort zone with success. So we are now doing this with success, just the same thing. We have those tools and the practice. So knowing what to expect and how to do it just increases that confidence and improves social skills, awareness, and confidence in social settings all around.
So just to get into a little bit of the research behind peers, peers is really extensively researched to demonstrate the impact of the program. It's developed out of UCLA, it's all across North America and beyond. So it's widely used, and they really have carefully tracked the progress of participants. So in these graphs in particular, you see a comparison between individuals that have been through peers and those that haven't. There's the peers and control. Across social skills knowledge, social skills improvement, frequency of get-togethers, and social responsiveness, you can see that the peers participants far exceed the control group. I want to draw your attention especially to the frequency of get-togethers graph, because if you take a look, pre-peers individuals are averaging less than one get-together a month, whereas the post-peers group are averaging over 4. That equates to pretty much having plans every single weekend, which for somebody who previously might have, anxiety around socializing, have a hard time making friends, maintaining friends, having a hangout every single weekend is absolutely massive. So that's really exciting to see. When we look at the long-term impact, we also see that the things learned in peers impact the way the individual is socialized long-term. So it's not like you learn the skills and we see a quick increase and then perhaps it drops off. As long as these skills are being put into use, it's going to continue to grow. So in the first graph at the top there, we see the categories social awareness, social cognition, social communication, social motivation, and autistic mannerisms. Keep in mind that peers is traditionally geared towards the autism spectrum, which is why we do have that on the graph. In all of the pre-peers measures, we see ratings of moderate to severe. The red bars show us changes immediately post-peers, and then the green bars, which are 1 to 3 years after the program, we see it get even better, right? In all cases, oh, sorry, Josh, go back. In all cases, the social struggles continued to decrease even years later, demonstrating again that those changes will continue to happen if the participant continues to make that effort. And then on the lower graph, we see an increase in positive traits: cooperation, assertiveness, empathy, self-control, and we see a reduction in internalizing and externalizing. So this just goes to show, again, that the impact of peers goes way beyond the treatment period and is a lifelong benefit.
All right, so if you're interested in learning more, those are the basics of the program. We love it. It's wonderful. If you're interested in learning more, we are open to chatting with you. So you can reach out with further questions to our admissions once you reach out to admissions, they will connect you with either Bethany or myself for a meeting. We're happy to discuss this more with you and answer everything you need to know before you make the decision. The cost of the program is $2,980. If you are an already enrolled EASO student, there is a bit of a discount there. And I think we're going to take this now to a Q&A. So we're going to stop our recording. Thank you for listening to our presentation. We hope that some of you reach out to us.